In today's episode, I'm talking about 3 things to do when you're ready to make some moves. Hello, and welcome to the Beautiful Reflections podcast. I'm your host, Katherine Johnson, a certified professional coach, mentor, writer, and speaker. I help professional women gain the clarity, confidence, and courage to pursue their bigger purpose and vision so that they can have fulfillment and thrive in their careers. I believe there is beauty in our voices, beauty in our stories, and beauty in our journeys. There is power in community, connection, and deep, meaningful conversation, which is why me and my guests are here to share our stories, experiences, lessons, and learning to inspire you as you walk the path and step into your next level. We go deep, sharing beautiful reflections of what this personal growth journey looks like in real, living color. This journey of pursuing our purpose and vision as we continue to evolve. It is my mission to empower you to believe in your power, to embrace your own uniqueness, and to be the best version of you. I want to see you thrive purposefully. Now on to the episode for today. Hello, and welcome to the Beautiful Reflections podcast. I'm your host, Katherine Johnson. In today's episode, I'm talking about making moves, pivoting, shifting, and starting something new. Because I heard that you're ready to move past feeling stuck and beyond your circumstances. You're ready to step into what's next. You're ready to have what you truly desire. You are ready to thrive. So what's really necessary? How do we get started? Now, I know that sometimes we overcomplicate things, thinking about the big strategy and the big plan, how it's all going to look and what we need to do, especially when we desire more. So that's why I'm discussing 3 simple things to do when you're serious about making some moves. These 3 things are simple and straightforward, which is always a good thing when we're embarking on a new journey. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do when you're ready to make some moves in your career and in your life is to be honest. You have to face the truth and look at reality. Look at what's really there. Now, I told you that this was simple, but this is truly the first and the most important step because it's going to give us the awareness that we need to determine what we need to do and what's our next course of action. And this really starts with you asking yourself, like, what do I really want? What's missing from my life? And where am I? With relationship to my goals, my dreams, my bigger purpose and vision, where am I? Because it's true what they say. The truth shall set you free. And sometimes it's hard or we avoid facing the truth. Why? Because we're afraid of what we may see. And we know that in facing the truth, we have to acknowledge what's there. And then we have to deal with it. And sometimes we avoid having to really deal with the truth. Because in some cases, it can be easier to just deal, right? To just deal. But when we want more and we have bigger goals and dreams, we really have to start with honesty. And this started for me on my journey back in 2017 when everything really began for me. I had to really be honest with myself. What I knew was that I was lacking fulfillment. I wasn't happy. I was frustrated with my job. I was tired of the same repetitive situations happening in my life. And I had to really be honest about it. Like, what did I really want? And at the end of it, I wanted to have the things that I truly desired. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to enjoy the work that I was doing and have a sense of fulfillment. I wanted to feel like I was making a contribution to the world. I wanted to be of service to others. And I just wanted to tap into the more. Like, what was the more for my life? What was I really put here on the earth to do? And so I had to just be honest and admit that first, what was happening in front of me or what was going on just wasn't cutting it. And I wasn't happy and I wanted more. So honesty, that's where it all starts. That's where all of the magic truly happens. And that's the first step. Number 2, be curious. Curiosity allows us to see possibilities, to see the things that we may not have considered, and to gain perspective. Now, when we're looking to make some moves and step into what's next, it's important to consider, what else is possible? How could my life really look? What else could I do? So how do we do this, and what does it look like? Let me share with you a story about my journey. Now, when I was a kid, I was very curious. I had a lot of questions, and I wanted to know why, how everything worked, and all that good stuff. So much so that my mom would tell me all the time, stop asking so many questions. So books really became my world. I loved reading because it showed me a world that I didn't see in front of me. I could get all of the answers that I wanted. And also, I could learn about different people, different cultures, different foods, different ways of life, different ways of thinking. And it really intrigued me. And I really believe that this helped me to really want more for myself and for my life. So how do we do this though? Like, what does it really look like to be curious? Well, it's quite simple. Question everything and really play devil's advocate, like really considering and asking, well, what if this? Or what about that? So what this looked like for me on my journey was when I reached this place where I recognized that, okay, I'm not happy. I'm not fulfilled. I had to really get curious and ask myself, okay, well, what could life be trying to teach me right now? What do I need to see? What's the bigger lesson learning and opportunity in this? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling, and what could it all mean? I had to get curious about those things, because once I got curious about those things and I started to ask these questions, then I was able to see. And then I was able to connect the dots and really understand everything and put it into perspective in a way that was going to allow me to move forward. And what I discovered was that the possibilities were truly endless. Like, I could do and be whatever I wanted to be. I wasn't limited by the career that I was in, that I had been in for such a long time, the career that I had worked hard at, the corporate ladder that I had been climbing. I wasn't limited to that, and that I could dream bigger, and that I could think about my bigger purpose and my vision, and that I could pursue that no matter what. So that's what curiosity allowed me to do when I was really ready to make some moves in my life. And I was really ready to just figure out what was next, and really ready to step into more, to step into bigger for myself and for my life. So even if you're not curious by nature, you can practice curiosity by inquiring and really looking to gain a new perspective, to expand your mindset and really explore all of the other possibilities that exist for you, so that you can make some serious moves and really step into what's next for you in your career and in your life. Number 3, be willing. We have to choose to grow and evolve on purpose. Now, what does this mean? This means that we have to be willing to stretch ourselves, to move beyond what feels safe, familiar, and comfortable. We have to be willing to do the work of learning and growing. And also part of this process is unlearning. Because the truth is, on this journey, we've learned so much. We've had so much that has been programmed into us. A big part of the journey when it comes into making some moves, it was we have to unlearn all of the things that we've been told and all of the things that we've been telling ourselves that's not really going to support our progress and moving forward. We have to have a new way of being and a new way of thinking that's going to support us. And being willing means that we have to have faith, and we have to believe that change, more and greater, is not only possible, but that it's available to us. Now, this is not always an easy one because it's the whole comfort zone, right? But we have to be willing to see, what's on the other side of our comfort. And this really hasn't been easy for me because, admittedly, I'm a creature of habit. I don't naturally embrace change. And usually my first thoughts when it comes to something new, something that's going to stretch me and something that's uncomfortable, usually my first thoughts fill me with a sense of anxiety. And that's why we have to be willing to have that curiosity to question things, to know that, okay, I know myself. I know where these thoughts are coming from, but I also know that I'm stretching myself and it's normal for me to feel this way. And I know that there's something great on the other side if I am feeling this way. Ultimately, we want to be the person that we were created to be. So we have to do the work. We have to be willing to grow as a person and to evolve as a person. And that's what being willing is all about. So in my journey, a lesson in being willing was just me being willing to try the new and different thing, right? You know what they say, if we want different results, we have to do something different. So a big part of my journey in willingness is just being willing to try. No matter how scary it may feel, no matter how risky it may feel, but being willing to try, knowing that if I'm ready to make some moves and I'm ready to step into what's next, that more than likely, I'm going to have to do something different. I'm going to have to do something that I've never done, and I'm willing to grow and I'm willing to stretch myself. So be honest, be curious, and be willing as you're looking to make some moves and step into what's next. These 3 simple and straightforward things that you can do are really going to help you when it comes times to pivot, shift, and start something new on your journey. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I challenge you to spend some time in self-reflection. Perhaps journal and answer the questions that I provided to help you gain some clarity. Think about what's one step you could take today to make some moves toward your next level. I believe that we're meant to thrive despite adversity, challenges, our struggles, and the things that we deem failures and mistakes. We don't have to wait for favorable circumstances, certainty, or stay hoping and wishing. When we're honest, curious, and willing, we can gain the necessary awareness to help us pivot, shift, or start something new. So be honest, be curious, and be willing. Are you ready to take this work further? Download my free 7-day self-reflection guide. This guide provides you with a 7-day roadmap to help you gain the clarity, confidence, and courage to pursue your greater purpose and vision. I created this guide just for you based on what I learned and what has helped me on my journey. If you're enjoying the podcast, follow us on Apple Podcasts to be notified of new episodes. Show some love and help me spread the word by leaving a rating and a review and sharing the podcast with someone you know. I'd love to hear from you. Connect with me on LinkedIn and Instagram at Katherine N Johnson. Let me know what you're taking away and how the podcast is supporting you by tagging me on IG using the hashtag Katherine N Johnson or Beautiful Reflections Podcast. Until next time.